Welcome back to this episode of The Self-Led Leader. Today, we're doing things a little bit differently. I'm going to be sharing with you an excerpt from my Intentional Communication Mastery course, deep diving into the importance of understanding body language. You see, we know that people speak different languages. We know that we communicate with our words and the things that we say. But the way that your body language speaks for you cannot be underestimated. You see, every shift in your posture, every micro expression, every reaction that changes the way that you position yourself, it all speaks volumes about what you are actually thinking and feeling. And when you learn to understand what your body language is saying without you really knowing, when you learn to read the body language cues of others, all of a sudden you will develop so much more depth, understanding, and clarity around the nuance of what you're hearing, what someone's feeling, and what they actually mean in the moment, especially if they're not telling you. If you want to dive deeper afterwards, go ahead, check out the description box. I'm going to leave the link for Club Coherence. I've uploaded the entire course plus so many additional resources and workshops into there, designed specifically to help you understand how to communicate with so much more clarity and confidence based on where you are, based on your lifestyle, and based on your personality traits, so that it doesn't matter if you're a new leader, if you're an aspiring leader, or if you've been an executive for a decade. We all have ways that we can improve the way that we communicate, and more importantly, the confidence that we feel when we speak. Because if you're like most of the clients I work with, you're tired of performing, you're tired of fake or forced confidence, and by now, you just want it to be authentic so that you can live up to your own standards of what you think you should be performing like. And I get that. I'm right there with you. So that's exactly why I've created Club Coherence, so that you can go ahead, get the practice, get the reps, get the knowledge that you need to begin to change how confident you feel and how confident you sound when you show up, while doing it at your own pace and getting the feedback that you need along the way. In a discretionary way, of course. So go ahead, check the description box if that sounds interesting to you. And I hope you enjoy this module all around body language. Welcome to The Self-Led Leader, a podcast for high performers who want to lead from alignment, not expectation. I'm Dr. Christina Aid, a social psychologist, and I'm here to help you lead with clarity, not chaos. This show is about what happens before the strategy, your mindset, your nervous system, the inner leadership that shapes everything you say and do. Because presence isn't about being loud, it's about being aligned. Let's get right into it. All right, let's get into the nonverbal cues module. Now, this one again, super important. So what are nonverbal cues? So this is really our body language and the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we position ourselves, facial expressions that we make. People pick up on our nonverbal cues subconsciously, automatically. Some people are better than others. Some people have trained themselves to be better, and that's fantastic because that's what you will do as well. Nonverbal cues are really important because, again, they are a clue to the subconscious mind and what the person is really thinking or feeling towards you, towards the idea, towards the conversation. Our nonverbal cues occur naturally, often without us noticing. That's why they are so effective at gauging what the other person is really thinking without them picking up on it. Especially if someone's nonverbal cues do not match what their words are saying. If our nonverbal cues do not match, that's when there's a little bit of a disconnect between the conversation. And again, some people are better at picking up on nonverbal cues than others. Regardless, we all pick up on them subconsciously. And that's where conversations come in, where perhaps you leave the conversation and the person said the right things and ended it on a positive note, but you walk away feeling iffy or uncertain or not quite sold because their nonverbal cues did not match what they said. Now, here's the thing. Here's the important distinction. It's one thing to be able to pick up on others' nonverbal cues. Another thing to know how to monitor your own. So in this module, we're going to cover both of those. Why is it important to learn nonverbal cues? Well, again, They are clues to what our actual thoughts are. They occur automatically, and they occur with subconscious shifts that we're experiencing. They tell you how a conversation is really going based on how the person really feels. Now, this is really useful to know during one-on-one conversations, during group settings, during presentations. Okay? One-on-one conversations is great because when you're talking to someone directly, you only have to focus on one person and on their nonverbal cues. If you're talking to someone and you notice a change, that's important. It's the changes that really indicate what their thoughts are. If you're in a group setting, it's still important to understand nonverbal cues because they can give you really important information. It can tell you who in the group is perhaps on board and who is against the idea that you're proposing. It could tell you perhaps who the leader is in that group dynamic. It can give you clues as to who they are looking to for guidance or support or to make that final decision, right? If you're able to examine a group and based on the nonverbal cues, figure out who the big boss is, how much easier will that be to then tailor your conversation and your presentation, whatever it is, to making sure that one person is on board who then has influence over the rest of the group, right? Making sense? And when it comes to presentations, again, learning nonverbal cues is important because then you get to gauge the audience. You get to pick up on things that the audience is doing to gauge how effective your presentation is. And again, when you're starting out, no stress. Presenting can be stressful enough. The more you progress, the more comfortable you get with this, right? The more you develop your own skills, the more you'll be able to start to pick up on the cues and start to gauge if some of the audience is interested, they're hooked, maybe some is disengaged, right? Clues for you to then change things about your own behavior, your own conversation, your own techniques based on what you're seeing. And that's the power of understanding nonverbal cues. When it comes to having a conversation with others, it's really important to be able to pick up on their nonverbal cues. And nonverbal cues and body language is really from someone's head all the way down to their toes, the entire thing. And here's what I mean by this. It includes the position of their head, the way that they're looking. So for example, looking right at you versus tilted to the side. Subtle shift. One indicates I'm engaged. One indicates I'm perhaps thinking, contemplating, or starting to zone out, depending on, again, the context of the conversation. It includes facial expressions, okay? We all have micro expressions that we make without realizing based on our immediate reaction to something. So you might propose an idea, you might say something, you might say the wrong thing, and a micro expression can give you a good indication of how that person felt in that minute. This isn't always a scary thing or a bad thing. Again, think of body language and nonverbal cues as additional information, a supplemental information to use while communicating with someone. Because again, their words matter, what they say matters, but how they say it, if the nonverbals match up, right? All these things give you a much deeper understanding of how the conversation went than just the surface. Okay? So it includes their head position, it includes their facial expressions, it includes shoulders. Is someone slouching? Right? Are they perhaps insecure, uncomfortable? Are they sitting straight, confident, secure, in charge? Are they leaning in because they're interested and they're engaged? Or are they leaning out because they want some space, some distance, and they're getting themselves as far as they can from you because they're not on board, right? Again, always minor exceptions, but generally speaking, these are the clues. Getting to the upper body, arms. Are they open? Are they at ease? Are they tense? Are they fidgeting? Are they closed off, right? Are they facing when it comes to posture? Are they facing a specific way? Are they facing you because they're engaged with you? Or are they facing away? Are they facing the door? Oh, that's a tough one. They're facing the door and they're leaning that way. Ooh, they want to get out of there. Again, important things for you to understand, right? Are their legs crossed? Are their legs open? Are they grounded and firm? Or are they perhaps fidgeting a little bit more? Right? Are their toes pointed directly at you? Or are their toes pointed away from you? Especially if it's at the door. Individually, each of these things will give you a piece of the puzzle, a piece of the information that you're looking for. Or when you start to combine nonverbal cues to see the whole picture, that's when you really get a much deeper understanding of the other person's subconscious mind, their thoughts, and their beliefs. Okay? Now, here's the caveat. It's one thing to pick up on nonverbal cues, but nonverbal cues really matter when there's a change, when there's a shift. So imagine that we're having a conversation. Right? I have open body language. I am engaged. I'm looking at you. My feet are grounded. I'm secure. This is a good conversation. I'm leaning in. I'm engaged. It's going well. And then you pitch an idea, right? You pitch a business plan. You pitch an idea. You ask for an investment. All of a sudden, you notice a change. I lean back. I cross. Maybe I even cross my arms. Maybe I even shift towards the door. What does that tell you, right? First of all, that there's a change in my demeanor. That means that there's a change in how I'm thinking about or processing and reacting to what you just said. And the fact that I went from open to closed lets you know I'm probably not on board. Lets you know that I'm feeling resistance to the idea. So even if I'm intrigued, even if I'm still engaging with you, subconsciously, if I'm closed off, there is some resistance coming up for me. And it's important for you to know that, because if you're pitching and you're engaging and you catch that resistance, you can address it. You can directly bring up the pain points you want me to consider. You can directly bring up any concerns that you think I might have. You can ask me what my concerns are, right? You can address it then and there because you're able to catch it then and there, and not think the meeting went well because I indicated I'm interested. And then 2 days later, you get a rejection email, right? Nonverbal cues matter. Picking up on them matters. The other side of the coin when it comes to nonverbal cues is learning to monitor your own, right? So just like other people have body language that changes in the middle of a conversation, so do we. And our body language says a lot about our own thoughts and our own beliefs. The same way that our thoughts shape our language. Our thoughts shape our body language as well. Now, first exercise I'll ask you to do here is pause the video and just take note of your body language right now. Okay? Are you slouched? Are you facing the door? Are you facing the computer or whatever device you're watching this on? Are you sitting upright and confidently? Right? Do you have a smile or a neutral expression on your face? Or are you heavy and gloomy? Right? Just take note of your body language. Because again, we cannot change what we do not know needs to be changed. Bringing our awareness and bringing our attention to these things is the first step in improving it. Okay? Now, the next exercise I'd like you to try is recording a video. And I know, Christina, another video. Yes, another video. Record a video of yourself doing something mundane, such as working at your laptop or your computer, or scrolling your phone or something that either your family would see a lot or that your colleagues would see a lot. Now, here's the thing. What we think our body language looks like is usually not what it actually looks like, especially if this is the first time that we are sort of auditing our own body language. Okay? Now, again, this could be very cringy, very awkward, very uncomfortable for many of us to record ourselves, right? So if you set up your camera on a bookshelf or on a table and just record yourself working at a computer, do it as naturally as you can, because it defeats the purpose if you're intentionally faking confidence or body language for that video, right? You'll be doing yourself a disservice. Now, if that is really hard to do, that's okay. Ask a friend, a family member, a trusted colleague, someone really who you trust, to spontaneously record you working when you don't expect it. Because you'll be in your natural habitat, you'll be in your natural state, you'll be in your natural sort of default body language in that moment. And that is what you need to watch. That is what you need to evaluate to audit your own body language to begin with. Okay? So let's start to notice things like, how's your head? How are your shoulders? What direction is your body facing? What expression are you making? Right? Do you look happy and approachable? Right? Here's the thing. Here's why it's important to make a video doing something that your colleagues would see. Because that's what they see. Imagine you're at the computer. Don't imagine, watch the video. If you're at your computer and you're serious or you're grumpy and you're slouched and you're like, meh, who's going to want to approach you and have a conversation with you, right? Going back to the energy, like what are you projecting, right? That's what I want you to consider. What message are your nonverbal cues projecting to others? Because how you carry yourself says a lot about you. Okay? Now, once you establish what your baseline is, that's when you can start being intentional with changing it. That's when you can pick one thing, maybe two, if you're brave. Pick one thing and work on it. Because again, it's the same thing. Picking too many things at once is overwhelming, it's hard, it's cognitively demanding, it's taxing. It's hard to remember to be straight, to put your shoulders back, and to lean back, to lean in, to smile, to do this. Do I look crazy? A little bit, because there's too much going on, right? Right. Pick one thing, start with one thing, make it a habit. Make it a habit to keep practicing that one thing until it becomes your new norm. Okay? Once it is so much easier and it's almost the norm for you to sit straight all the time, that's when you add in the next step. Okay? You want this to be your new baseline, right? Consistently throughout the course, we're building on your baseline. We're elevating your baseline a little bit at a time to get you towards that goal that you want. Again, doing everything all at once is overwhelming. Resistance will come up. Pick one thing and work on it. Okay, so going back to the idea of energy, your nonverbal cues have energy. They speak volumes about you. And first impressions matter, right? When someone first sees you, the first thing that they'll start to pick up on is your energy and your body language, right? Again, your expression, how you carry yourself, all these things make a difference. Imagine you are sitting in an audience and you're waiting for a presentation to start and the speaker walks on stage. The speaker is slouched. They're looking at the floor as they walk to the podium. Perhaps they're fidgeting. They're playing with their papers. They're double checking their mic. They're doing all these things. They're not making eye contact with the audience. How excited are you going to be for the presentation? Are you going to sit there, put away your phone, get ready for this amazing presentation? No. Your hopes of that presentation being good are going down the drain with every fidget that the speaker makes. They haven't said anything. What have they really done, right? But their body language, their energy speaks volumes. Now imagine you're still in that audience, but the next speaker walks on stage. And this speaker has a pep in their step. Their shoulders are back. They walk on, they look at the audience, they smile, maybe they wave, they make eye contact, they say hello to a couple of the front row members. They put their papers down, they get ready. How excited would you be? Would you start to build up the anticipation? Most of us would, because body language matters and how you carry yourself matters. Okay, now, the last component to this is what do you do once you start monitoring your body language? Great question. I'm glad you asked. What you do is you monitor and you change when you notice. And here's the thing. It takes time to break a habit and it takes time to build a new habit. And that's fine because again, there is no perfection and we anticipate failure. So we anticipate that we will try our best and we will monitor our nonverbal cues. And sometimes we might forget and we might slack off and we might slouch. But then you catch yourself. It might be in the middle of a conversation. It might be in the middle of a presentation. It might be in the middle of a team meeting. Who cares? You catch yourself and you readjust. Now, if you feel awkward, if someone is talking to you and in the middle of the conversation you realize, oh, my body language, it might feel weird to just bolt upright and like readjust. So then you use a transition, right? You sort of break it down, do it a little bit smoother. It might be, oh,
my body language, right? So you might check something in your notes, right? Just disrupt the behavior. Check something in your notes. Have a sip of water. Double check if there's something on the floor, right? Anything that can be a little bit more natural to disrupt your behavior and come back into a more confident state, or whichever state you're going for with your nonverbal cues, right? If you catch yourself, disrupt the pattern, come back into it the way that you intended. Okay? All right, now, again, for the exercise for this module, go ahead, record that video of yourself or get someone to record it for you. Keep that as your baseline. As you continue practice, make it a habit to watch your nonverbal cues and then come back and re-record the video, right? You might do it a week from now. You might do it a month from now. You might schedule it into your calendar. On the first of every month, record a 1-minute video of yourself working, right? And then just evaluate it and then just track your progress. And again, we're going to habit stack. We're going to pick one thing. We're going to work on changing that one thing until it becomes the default. Then we build on top of it. Okay? All right, you've got this.